Wait, why did that stop? We need to go live.
You are live.
What are you doing? Hit the button.
Hello, folks. Welcome to Three Folk Talk. It is Ask a Wise One. It's our 5th episode of Ask a Wise One, which we love, and we're going to have an absolute blast. Let's try out the music to see if it actually works this week without deafening everybody. Backgrounds. How is everyone?
Yay! Awesome.
Excited.
Excited. I see some of us are dressing up appropriately in red. Some of us didn't get the memo that wasn't sent. That's okay.
Yeah, it doesn't reach over to where I live anyway.
Red for blood.
Red for blood. Okay, cool. Let me know if the music is good. If you can't hear it, because I can't hear a thing of it apparently. So it's a good start. And welcome to a threefold talk to Cats.
Yay!
Rattle. How are you?
I am excellent. I'm very good. I'm excited. I'm glad to be here.
Good. We are glad to have you here. We have an action-packed show. Apparently we cannot hear music. Jess is there. Thank you, Jess. I will tinker with it. It will probably get loud again at some point. No, my luck. Because StreamYard is just stuck like that. But it's a busy show, so I hope you're all excited. I hope you're all ready. I think we need to crack straight in and kick it off with a pretty full Daily Veil. I think that's what we need to do. So let me get that started. Where's the button? Where is it? There it is.
Brothers and sisters,
it is time to cover up your face.
For the wheel of time has news, and we shall dance the spears with it.
This is the Daily Veil.
Okay, now it's really loud.
What, music? That's really loud?
It always sounds normal to me. It's hilarious.
What's going on? Screw the music. Right,
Screw the music. Wow.
If it's too loud, let me know. Quite loud.
That's quite loud.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, real quick while Rob's tinkering with the music, I did have a little bit of a surprise for Bain&Chiad. I've been cleaning out my desk at work because, being back in the office after 2 years, and I found this. I was like, fuck. And I consider this Bain&Chiad pink. So I had it. So I brought it home because I want to wear it here.
Perfect.
Yay, pinkers.
Aww.
That's
so
funny.
cute.
I went with the red tonight, but I do miss the pink.
Yeah, but I can't think of any other this color as anything else besides Bain&Chiad pink.
Yeah, it's a good color.
I love it.
That's the first Daily Veil.
Yeah. There we go. We have Bain&Chiad pink, not on Bain&Chiad. Nice. Apparently the music is much better now. Thank you so much. Let's get into it. So it's been a busy week with news, which is really exciting.
Yeah, it's crazy how season 2 just dropped like that.
Yeah,
I know, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Absolutely mad.
they pulled a Beyonce and just dropped it on us.
I love it. I love it. Anytime.
Who doesn't love that? So let's start off with I don't know if you call this news, but yesterday was the 8-year anniversary since we got the infamous Winter Dragon pilots.
What?
Oh
Yes.
my god.
8 years since Billy Zane graced our screens like this.
Wow. Feels like yesterday.
Huh?
Yeah. Who stayed up to watch it? Did anybody stay up to watch it?
I did.
Mel did. Nice.
I did. I watched it at whatever AM it was. Yep.
And you liked it? You were disappointed? You cried?
I was so confused. I just remember just watching it being like, I don't understand what is happening. And I think I stayed up to watch it, and real life Matt Cawthon went to bed, and then he was like, the next morning, he's like, so you watched it? Was it amazing? And I was just like, I have no idea. and then I made him watch it with me again, and then he was just like, what is this? He was so mad. He was so angry. He was just, yeah.
Did you tape it? Like, how did you get him to watch it again?
I think they showed it again. Like it played like 2 times. You know how sometimes they show something on TV the one time and then they show it again. Mm-hmm. But I definitely saw it live that night. Yeah, it was crazy. I regret that.
It didn't really exist until years later, and I
Yeah,
was like, "What?"
Yeah.
And I watched it on YouTube, and then I was like, "What?"
What is this? What is
No, yeah. I saw that like someone shared the TV guide listing, and there it was. And I went, and I think I literally went and like looked at a TV guide, which I did not have at the time, but I went and found one in the grocery store on the little aisle thing and opened it up, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's there. So confused. It was confusing. I just remember.
I also watched it live, but I did not have to stay up for it. I just got up early for it. So, but I got the notification in a Facebook group back when I was in Facebook, and there it was. So I also watched it and was also equally confused.
Yeah.
8 years since we got Billy Zane, and I would love to see Billy Zane in the show. I don't know if
Yes.
That would be something.
that would be.
Poured his whole heart into that performance.
He did.
Really
Bless his
did.
heart. He did. Yeah.
Mhm.
I do feel like it's not very fair that Billy Zane gets all the credit and
Max
that other
Ryan
guy. Yeah, nothing. He gets nothing, and he's like the
Max
sweetest
Ryan's
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Max Ryan got to be on Dusty, and Billy
Yeah.
Zane did not. So there's
Well.
Sounds fair.
this is true. All right.
What's
Next
next?
piece of news comes from what series? Those glorious folks over there have decided that they should share season 3.
Yes.
3 news with us, folks.
Yes.
The glorious Kieran Donnelly is coming back as a director for episodes in season 3. It also states that he's going to be an executive producer for the season, which is exciting.
That's very cool.
As noticed here, he is the gentleman for the responsible for the Bolt camera, which made the blood snow scene just absolutely insane,
Yes.
incredible. So I'm very glad that he's coming back. I hope everyone else is as well, to be honest.
Stoked.
Oh yeah.
Blood snow.
Easily the best cold open of season 1. So.
Easily.
Yeah, as Bavara says in chat,
Yes.
bring back the Bolt.
100%.
That was my very first thought. I was like, more bolts.
Mine too.
That's if anyone gets a chance to interview him, that should be the first question. So, how does it feel to be famous in the Wheel of Time fandom, not because you directed episodes, but because of the bolt.
But it was the precisely perfect choreographed use of the bolt that made it iconic. Like none of us would have known what a bolt was, or even any camera in TV at all, except that he insisted on it and made it happen for that amazing cold open. Probably the best cold open I've ever seen in my entire life. So good.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I would definitely agree with that. It's pretty epic. Fun side note that I fell down a bolt rabbit hole, just trying to find out a few things about it. I found out that the reason, particularly movies, but a lot of television, looks so much better than anything anyone ever produces on their 4K cameras and this and all that fancy stuff is because they record in 6K. I was like, wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's such
That is
thing
a
as
number
6K.
and a letter next to each other.
Yes. I know that number. I know that letter.
Yeah.
So yeah, like regular television is like 720 or 1020.
1080.
Right.
1080, thank you. I don't know why I said and then you've got like the fancy version. It's like, oh, it's 4K. The quality jumps up in terms of the quality of picture, Shelley. But then there's 6K that the movie is recorded. So,
So fancy.
so fancy.
I imagine very expensive as well.
Yeah.
I imagine so. Yes.
You guys remember at the very beginning of like when HD was first coming out and like movies hadn't quite figured out what to do about like so much resolution, and you saw all the makeup lines and the like wig bumps and like
everything.
you could see everything, and they've gotten so much better about like just by necessity about hiding it all. But it used to just it almost like made everything look like a B movie.
It really does. Yeah. I watched Gone in 60 Seconds earlier today. And it's the intro of that, of all the photographs where they've like CG'd or not, just like Photoshop people's faces into the old pictures in the intro. I was like, oh boy, this looks bad on my TV. What's it like a 4K TV? You know. So yes, but yeah, that's really exciting. And now we've got some fun news. So Wheel of Time account has been busy. It's been tweeting a lot. In particular today, I know Mel, you were late to this news.
I was very upset that none of you told me.
I didn't know.
We got
Bird boy.
Bird Boy.
Look at him.
There's the bird boy.
Cuddly.
Yeah.
I just love how he's so sprawled out.
I know.
Yeah.
So good.
Totally lounging.
Those well-turned calves, guys.
They are.
Yes, they are. Impeccable.
If you zoom in really, really, really close, I would like to make a proposition about this Trolloc who we have heretofore called Bird Boy. But if you look very, very close at the nipples, I'm just saying they look like they've been teated, you know? They're like they've been used
Games have been
maybe to nurse a baby Bird Boy Trolloc.
Maybe.
They are
I'm curious what the alt text says.
or a murderel. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Kevin rewrote it with some really great alt text.
Yes.
You say that because, what is this?
There it is.
There it is. I was just gonna say. Oh my god.
Behind the
Wow.
scenes of a makeup artist wearing a pink, puffy pink coat, applying makeup to a bird-based Trolloc, leaned back on a chair, bird-like legs outstretched onto the forest floor. Behind to the left is a short and thick horned Trolloc, seemingly waiting for its turn, with my face giving a cheeky and knowing smile. To the right is a person in a puffy yellow vest looking down at a dead Trolloc. The bird Trolloc is labeled at the Wheel of Time, preparing to post more Trolloc bait. The puffy vest person is labeled Twitter of Time, still recovering from the last round, and the Kevin faced Trolloc is labeled Kevin. That's some good old text there, buddy. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah. Well done. But seriously, not for Kevin edification, just for your own. Because I do you guys remember there was a Trolloc that they said that they called Betty?
Yes, I do remember that.
And we have not yet quite figured out which Trolloc was Betty, right? Like we haven't figured it out. And I've been leaning this direction for a little bit that maybe Bird Trolloc is Betty.
Wow.
Okay.
This might blow your whole mind, but it also might explain why Bain&Chiad is so attracted to it. So, it's all fine.
For Betty, not for a boy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with that.
Could
Like
be.
the alliteration. So
Yeah.
Betty and Bird Boy.
I don't know. Someday maybe we'll get verification on who Betty is.
Betty the Baddie.
Well, following on from the Twitter of Chaos giving us a lot, the other Prime accounts, or at least one of them, is getting in on that because Prime Video Australia New Zealand's is also tweeting pictures. Bad on them for not tweeting it with alt text, though.
Very bad. Very, very bad.
They were quote tweeted by Kev to give them much better alt text. But yeah, they tweeted out the picture. This is JLo and Ben Affleck. JLo looks very engaged with the camera and happy and paying attention. And Ben Affleck is kind of, well, he's phoning in. His eyes are open, I would say, let alone when he's paying attention.
Very good way of putting it.
Yeah. And JLo is labeled me in this picture. Ben is labeled as my partner. And the comment is over JLo saying, watching the Wheel of Time for the 20th time. And then they commented below, or was it above? Yeah. Hashtag Twitter of Time knows what I mean. So,
True.
yeah.
Indeed we do.
So that was fun.
Well, and Mel had a great response to that as well. I don't remember whose picture she used. Oh, yeah, there we go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Seriously, I feel really bad for Prime Australia, New Zealand. They seem to have not figured out what so many others have figured out, is they just need to find the right person.
Yeah, true.
And I'll still say, like, to this day, one of my best memories is being on Zoom with a group of other Wheel of Time fans watching that trailer for the first time.
Yeah.
Like, it was a communal cry out.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I was like, oh God, I feel like an idiot because I'm crying. And then all of a sudden, all those other people are like, I'm crying. And I'm like,
Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of like all the fandom news in terms of like Wheel of Time accounts and directors and stuff. But there's some fun additional news to add to it this week, folks. Firstly, we have some name day shout outs. I'm going to put that in a new segment, I think. So if you want to wear, today is a double name day celebration. So please wish a happy name day to Tree and Jessica Sadai, who
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
So it's amazing to be able to celebrate name days, and when you have name day buddies, it's even better. So I'm glad to be able to do that. Folks, if you're paying attention on Twitter, the Battle of the What Icons is about to hit round 2 tomorrow. As we're talking about this, if you're watching back later, it might already be on the go. We've already lost 15 icons, including some big ones, like the Dragon Banner icon is gone, the Trolloc Skull and Fist is gone. What else did we lose? We lost the Horn of the Lear. We lost, we lost so many things. The Heron Marked Blade lost. It was a tough.
Wow.
that's a sword. We kind of expect that.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Wetlander, so I
Deserves
don't
to
quite. Yeah. It deserves to lose. Yes, round 2 of that drops tomorrow afternoon, 3 p.m. Eastern, approximately. It depends. Sometimes I have to write everything out. You can't schedule a thread unless you use a third-party app. So that's great. But then on the third-party apps, you can't schedule polls. And I'm just like, oh.
Of course.
So I have to create. Yeah. So, which is frustrating, but it is what it is. Okay, Noma Garden. I know you replied to this on the tweet thread. And the reason I put Spears, Stars, and Moon is because that is what was written on Tarvalon.net, which is considered like a true source material website by Team Jordan. So I was like, all right, I'm assuming they've checked their facts. So go complain to Tarvalon.net. I ain't taking the hit for that one.
Let us know how.
Yeah,
Yes.
let us know how you do with that one. So
I thought a journalist wasn't supposed to reveal their sources.
I ain't a journalist. I'm just a hole maker.
You can use a hairpin as a spear.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Of
I
course you
mean,
can.
they're
everything's
just-
a spear when you think about it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's true. If you try hard enough. Yeah,
I really like thrusting things, so yeah.
There we go.
there it is.
It's good.
All right. And one last piece of news, folks, before we dash off. God, I think this is the fastest we've ever done the news when there's lots of news. And I'm excited to say, folks, that available right now, you can go and get your digital pass to MalkieriCon, which is happening this September.
Yay!
Head to the link is in the description to the live stream, so you can pop down to there. But if not, just go to malkiertalks.com/registration and come and join us on the 9th and 10th of September. If you can't make it in person, obviously we'd love to see you in person if you could make it. But if you can't, you can go and get yourself a digital ticket instead. And I think that's it for news. Did I miss anything?
Goat Brother
If you
says we
did, go ahead.
Goat Brother says we did, but I told him to send you the links and we can talk about it next week because we have so much to do too.
So much to do.
Yeah, well,
Yes,
That's,
there is. Yeah. Goat Brother, I love John from What Up, but I know for a fact that he likes to throw in false leads as well as actual leads. So I don't actually consider him a reliable news source. Sorry, buddy.
He did say it was rumor. He said rumor.
Yeah, exactly. So
He couched his news.
fair enough. Right, back to the regular music that hopefully isn't going to deafen everybody because the news is done.
Now it's time.
I think we cut Twitter early. I think Twitter doesn't get to enjoy our interview with our guest, as we like to do here. Where's my spear? There. So we like
so
to.
Wetlander lost his spear again.
No. it was
Of
just
course.
So before we do this, let me just say, let's say goodbye to Twitter. If you're watching on Twitter, come join us on
Twitter.
YouTube. Because otherwise you won't be able to enjoy our Fear the Spear segment with 90s Wifey. So make sure you come join us there. But it's time, folks, for Fear the Spear. It is time. Are you ready, Kat?
I'm not sure anymore.
It's very
Yes,
ominous
I'm
music.
ready.
Isn't it?
I'm ready.
Okay. First up, to kick us off, you need to tell us your name, society, and clan.
My name, society, and clan.
You can make them up if you don't have a society and clan.
Okay.
Just let you know that. We should probably tell people that well.
You can make up anything you want. This is just
it
for
doesn't have to
fun.
be ideal.
Okay. So name, that's easy. Cat. I will keep my regular name. Cat. Society. I've been playing a lot of Sims. Of the Sims community. It's my society.
Love it.
Can I say that? Does that work?
Absolutely.
And then my clan? Ooh. I don't know. Can I say Twitter of Time? Is that cheating?
No, not at
Oh
all.
no.
Good plan to have.
That counts. Yeah, that's a good clan to have indeed. Folks, I've just thank you, Kev, for pointing out the music is missing. It is there. It's very low. I've turned it up. Let me know if you still can't hear it. But now we each ask you a question from our randomizer. So, and then we have some specific questions just for you, Kat. So here we go, folks. Let's give our kissing wheel a spin. Question 5.
He didn't care for
Okay.
pussy.
Wait, what was that noise?
Yeah, what was it?
It sounded like an axe chopping or something.
I don't know. Let's do it at sync. Right. Mel, you get the
Yes.
first question.
Okay. Kat, if you could pick only one, what Wheel of Time character would you take with you to guard your back on a raid on another clan's hold?
Oh, that's easy. Brigitte.
Oh,
I feel like Brigitte is a solid choice.
Yeah. Very solid.
Yeah.
okay. Nicely done.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, we'll get another option then.
This is so tense. I love this.
I'm tinkering with the music. All right. So, my turn now. Please tell us, Kat, what is in your Cadensaur pockets?
So instantly in my head, my brain translated it to the Gollum voice of what's in its pockets.
What's in his pockets?
Exactly.
Pockets.
Just wanted to let you know. What's in my
Do you have a ring that makes you?
You know what? And it's yes, I have a ring. And it makes me invisible.
Wow.
Yeah. I think it makes me invisible. Everyone else can see me, but I think it makes me invisible.
What is it though?
It's just it's one of those plastic mood rings
Okay.
that from the 90s and they change colors.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those rings.
Okay.
And it barely fits. It fits like right on the top of my index finger because it's from when I was like a kid, but I still keep it with me. And it's very special and precious to me.
Does it still change colors?
Precious.
Yes. Does it still change colors to tell you what your mood is?
It's stuck on blue, which I don't remember. I don't remember what blue means. I feel like it's probably sad because blue usually is like.
Oh, I thought blue
feel
was
like-
happy.
Yeah, I thought in the mood ring it was like weird and blue was happy.
Okay,
it was a
maybe-
confusing thing. Yeah.
That's perfect then.
It's a
I think
complicated science movie.
It is. It's very complicated.
Really?
It's a very complicated 90s science. And the 90s was a lawless time. There was a lot happening in the 90s.
So true.
This is true. I love
So
it.
true.
Love
this
it.
is a great pocket answer there. It's
It's really good. Really good.
All right. Bain&Chiad is up next. Should be asking you question number 30.
Yes, there we go.
Ooh, lucky number. And I love this one.
I did that.
Kat,
Oh boy.
you can take as much time as you need for this one.
Yeah.
Trollocs are hot, true or false?
This is the thing. I know that Kevin is around, and I desperately want to impress Kevin. I want to impress Kevin, and so, yes, Trollocs are hot. Yes, they're hot. Yes.
I believe you. I believe you
Yeah,
so
so
much.
convincing. I
Yeah.
really love them.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
I think we love them more than Kevin, actually.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Okay.
Someone
Shelley's
tell the
question
tweeter of chaos. There's a new Kevin in town.
Here we go.
now. Okay, question one for Shelley to ask us, or ask you, sorry, not us. And there it is.
Kat, why did you choose to be a Wetlander?
I didn't choose the Wetlander game. The Wetlander game chose me, is my answer.
Oh.
It's just, I don't know. It wasn't a good choice. I kind of regret it. Should I change? Should I not be a Wetlander anymore?
I mean, you already live in the same part of the Threefold Land as me, so
I'm partway there. This is perfect.
you're partly
Okay.
there.
I'm partway there. Okay. You can fix this.
All right.
And if you don't want to be a warrior, that's okay. I mean, it's the best part of being an IEL, but there are other parts,
'Cause the
they're
thing is-
accessible.
Yeah,
Wise
you wouldn't
one.
want me to be a warrior. I would not be a good warrior. I'm very clumsy.
We
Right.
have the full range of all societies within the wetlands. We're just known for our warrior societies.
Yeah, we have the warriors, and then we have the wise ones, and then we have everybody else.
Blacksmiths.
And blacksmiths. Yeah.
Yeah, there's merchants, there's farmers, there's traders, there's goat herders.
We don't have that in the Shadowlands. No, we don't have those
No.
things. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Wise one sounds good. That sounds. We'll have to talk about this.
You know what? There'll be a segment later tonight where you could try out being a wise one and see what it feels like.
Oh, okay. That's perfect.
Sure.
It'll be like an apprenticeship almost.
Perfect.
Yeah. All right. Leia's question is going to be question 2. I wondered whether that was going to be question 2
No,
or
it was
12.
kind of between 2 or 12.
It was very close. Okay.
How would you fan cast to portray your? Should we skip this one or
No.
No, okay.
No, I feel like we should. I feel like no. I make an executive decision. We're going to go number 12 instead.
Okay.
All right.
Good one.
Who in the Wheel of Time do you most want to stabby stab?
Uh-oh. Am I going to get in trouble for my answer?
No.
Oh my god! Unless you say Melindhra, she might actually stab you back.
I will not say Melindhra.
Okay.
This is the thing. At first I was like, I don't think I want to stab. Oh no, wait. I do want to. There are people.
I like to ask this question in its proper format: is who do you want to stab, and why is it Massima?
I mean,
And mine is what? And why is it 2-1? So it's all fine.
Mine is
Cat's face.
oh boy. There's a lot of options. Okay. Gawain. I would stab Gawain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very
I know.
stabbable.
It's valid. Highly valid.
He has a very
There we go.
stabbable body, and like it's yeah.
Funnily
And
enough,
he uses a
Novigarden-
sword.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than Gawain, yeah.
Funnily enough, Novigarden put in, shouldn't this question include other than Gawain? Yes.
Probably.
Apparently, Mary Frenzy has turned up in time for Maiden's Kiss, apparently, so nice. All right, so we have 3 specific questions for you, cats. Ladies, who wants to ask them?
Just pick us.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Tell us what to do.
Bain&Chiad.
Tell us what to do on this time only, this current situation.
For the next 5 minutes only.
Excuse me.
Bain&Chiad.
Oh, yes. Yeah, because I think I posted this. I wanted Lizzo
Yes.
to play Grendel. So you're a big fan of that casting, Lizzo as Grendel.
Yes.
So what do you think Lizzo herself would do if she were nameless?
First, she would set up a twerking 101 class because that's very important. That's a very important life skill. And then it would be just a lot of like, it's maybe see, because Lizzo is so pure and so like kind, and I don't know if that necessarily works for Grendel, but I'm picturing like new and improved Grendel with Lizzo. And so she's like all about positivity and accepting yourselves, but also being a bad bitch. And so that is the energy that she's bringing to everyone. And so not necessarily evil, but just like how to be the baddest bitch you can possibly be,
Love it.
Yeah.
I also just went through a mental checklist of different Wheel of Time characters, watching them twerk.
Yeah. It's very good. Yeah.
I feel like that needs to be a poll bracket, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Take like
Who would
32
win?
characters all the time. Yeah, who's the best
Wheel
twerker?
of Time twerk off. Yeah.
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 Should make that a 3-fold talk poll as we're going into full season.
That will be so. The Grinwell Cup is so. Obviously, I'm running mine currently. The Grinwell Cup, it runs in March.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
the Grinwell Cup finishes, threefold talk will run the
Twerk off.
The threefold twerk off.
Perfect. Like just imagine like Galad twerking.
No,
Just imagine that.
Yeah, that
I'd
would
be
be.
surprised.
he wouldn't be able to.
It would
You know
be
what?
that like stiff white guy who doesn't know
Yes.
how to move his body, and he's like,
That's Galad. Yeah.
But you know what? I bet he has a rock hard ass. I bet he has a rock hard butt.
Good ass doesn't
But it's like
necessarily mean
muscle bound. Muscle bound is not necessarily good for twerking.
No, you need that flexibility.
Yeah, you need to be able to jiggle it just a little bit.
That's what it is.
Competition buys it as Modian.
That is absolutely correct. That is correct.
Also, Random Noman is now picturing Nameless cosplaying as Lizzo at
I
WatCon.
love it.
Love it.
I
Love that.
Love it.
That's great. Okay, Mel, you get the next question.
Okay, describe the perfect date night with Nynaeve.
Perfect date night with Nynaeve. With the perfect date night, I'm trying to think. Okay, is this show Nynaeve or book Nynaeve, or it doesn't matter? Or is it
You pick.
Okay. I'll go with book Nynaeve because that's the one I know more for now. What would we do? I feel like she would be into like a planetarium, you know? I feel like she would be into a planetarium. We could sit there, we could see the stars. It doesn't have to involve, she can still be nice and comfortable. She can tell me like, what else would Nynaeve want to do? Probably not water.
Probably not water.
Probably
Yeah.
not water. So we're gonna stay away from water. We're gonna go for a very nice long walk in the park. She's gonna, I'm gonna give her an opportunity to vent because she needs to get it all out. So I'm just gonna be a listening ear. She's gonna get all of the stuff out. We're gonna go for a nice long walk. We're gonna go to the planetarium, and then I'm gonna buy her jewelry because she doesn't like it, but wink, wink, she does.
So true.
And it's gonna be like the big. It's gonna be like the big like hoop earrings too, from like
Yeah.
you know, like the late '90s, early
Yeah.
2000s. It's gonna be those big hoop. Yes. Yeah. So it's gonna be like that, and it's gonna be like a nice necklace, and she's gonna be like, oh my god, okay, well if you have, I guess if you're giving it to me, I'll take it, but. And there's just like this glimmer in her eye as she like puts it on.
She like wants to sass you and be like, "What?" But she knows that she can't. So she's
Or
like,
she'll complain about how expensive it is and how you're wasting your money.
Exactly. She's as she's putting it on. As she's complaining, she's putting it on.
Yes.
Yeah. She's putting it on, and she takes out like a mirror, and she's like looking at herself in the mirror, and she's like, "Oh yeah, you shouldn't have done this though. This was a terrible idea." No, you don't have to take it back. That's fine. You are with so much trouble already. So.
I would 100% read this fan fiction.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Maybe I need to write it.
Yeah.
I think you should.
"Oh yes, please do."
Cat and Nynaeve's date of fun.
Date of fun of planetariums and jewelry.
Love it. I love it.
That's great. Mary Frenzy, going back to previous question, would pay good money to see Nameless cosplay as Lizzo, cosplaying as Grendel.
Layers.
So many layers.
This seems like
So good.
this seems like a stretch goal for WatCon. I feel like this needs to be like some
I have a
kind
flute.
of-
I can bring my flute.
Oh, look at this.
You know,
So-
I almost
Destined
think
to
that we
be.
should make this our next like propaganda video. Is everybody cosplaying as Lizzo, cosplaying
Cosplaying
Grendel, and then we
Grendel.
post it on all the socials
Yes.
and tag her, and then because we just can't get her. Like, I don't think she knows who Grendel is yet.
She doesn't know.
No,
Perfect
no.
for Grendel.
Yeah,
And then maybe she'll see it and she'll come on our show.
and she'll do
Yeah, that's perfect.
And because we've talked about like, oh my god, we should totally send her the books and just be like,
Yeah.
by the way, read these
Yeah.
because
We've
you're
talked
in
about her
here.
so many times.
I bet that she's the kind of person who would have read those books.
She is. She gives that vibe. Yeah.
Yeah.
She
She
very
has-
possibly has read
Yeah.
She's got
She has
nerd
some
vibes.
dirty- She has
She
strong-
definitely has nerd vibes. Oh my gosh.
Oh
right.
yeah.
We have one question to finish off the sphere. Leia, you're going to ask this question. Here you go.
What's your favorite thing about your Queer of Time co-hosts? Oh, and if we haven't mentioned, can you tell us, first of all, we're on a podcast.
I was going to, once we got through the sphere. Okay. now we know you a little bit. Tell us why. Like, tell us about what you do and why you do it and things like that. So yes, I was going to do that. Don't worry.
Yeah.
So whatever order you want to answer all those questions. Typically, I got more than one.
Okay. I'll do the who am I and what do I do and all that jazz. I'll do that first because otherwise I'm gonna forget. I will forget. Yes, I am one of the 4 co-hosts on the Creative Time podcast. It's very chaotic and it's very there it is.
Aww.
Yeah.
There it is. Yeah, it's very chaotic. It's very gay. And we talk about all kinds of things. We sometimes talk about Wheel of Time. Sometimes. When we can remember to stay on track. But yeah, we've been doing it. We started it in June last year, which is crazy to think about. That we're already coming up to a year. And yeah, it's so much fun. It's silly and it's fun. And I love my co-hosts very much. They're all ridiculous in very different and wonderful ways. My favorite thing, it's so collectively about them. Thank you, Kevin. It is a very it is a very good show. I agree. Yes.
Just like us.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very professional show. It's a good Christian family.
Yes.
Is what it is.
Just like today's show is going to be.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Bring in your 5-year-olds.
Bring them in. Bring them in. It's my favorite thing about my co-hosts. So individually, I'll say, yeah, I'll do them. I'll do individually. Camille is French, and so I automatically love them. And also, they're all about the data. They're all about the numbers, and they're my fellow Sapphic. Our Saphics have to stick together. And Matt is.
He's not gonna let you live that pause down.
I know. I was trying to think of the words to sum up Matt, other than I just love Matt so much. Because he loves Asmodee and he loves Rand, he loves Yosha, and he says the most ridiculous and chaotic things, and I could not love him more. And then James also is amazing and very funny and very sarcastic, and we sing a lot together. We do a lot of singing together on the podcast. Yeah.
Amazing.
Nice. Love that. Okay. And now you need to go back and answer the question. Oh, no, you did, didn't you? Sorry, yeah.
I did.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay,
I still felt that was just flowing on from introducing the podcast.
It was just a seamless.
It was
perfect.
very seamless. It really was.
Well done.
Professional.
Okay.
A professional. Yeah.
Yes. It really was. All right, folks. That is it. Fear the Spear is done. I think that's a solid pass there, I say.
I think
100%. Yes. I don't even think we need to poll it.
10 stabby stabs.
If any of you disagree, stabby stab.
To grain level stabbies.
Yay!
Yes. It's a 10.
Yes,
Yeah, love that. Okay. So, we've done Daily Veil. We have done Fear the Spear.
Did you do the banner?
Oh, you've seen the banner finally? Yeah, that's been running across the screen since about 10 seconds after you said it was safe for children. So.
Sure. I was just really focused on our guest
Me too.
and not staring at the screen and whatever is scrolling on it. I'm staring at Kat's face.
There we go.
Love it.
Beautiful. I think this is the fastest we've ever done, like a intro, Daily Veil, and then like a Fear the Spear. Like we've got a lot to do. So we are moving straight on to this is Ask a Wise One Romance Edition. Shelly is primed. She's waiting.
Got my advice given pants on.
We're glad,
They're jeggings.
excellent.
It's always good when we confirm.
There
Okay.
it is. There it is.
Yes.
There it is.
That is definitely a level of flexibility that I
I
do
do
not
not have
possess,
that.
nor will I attempt to possess.
Please attempt it. I need it.
There you go. The arm.
Mel's face right now is just like,
It's a very Mel face.
all right.
It's usually a Shelly face.
Yeah, that is usually a Shelly
It's a
face.
disapproving Shelly face.
Yeah. Usually Shelly's face only does that when we play something. But anyway,
I like that you cut it off really quick. That was good. That was good. Don't do that to the wise one before she's gonna.
That's the
Like,
face.
Timing. Timing.
I don't love the sneak P word that gets in there. Like a
Just-
I mean,
P word.
I should have gone with the other version that doesn't actually
Oh my god.
Anyway, Shelly,
I'm just gonna do the rest of the show with my eyes closed.
we've had Oh, thank you, Jess. You are
Jess.
incredible.
On your birthday.
On your birthday.
On your birthday, you're mad. Oh. Missed
Give
all the
us your
sincerity
birthday
and levity, the ridiculous and the magnificent. Always glad to come back to all of you. I'm going to use that as a show description. That is beautiful.
Oh.
Yeah. Sincerity and levity, ridiculousness and magnificence.
Agreed.
Thank you so much, Jess.
Yeah, that's just stunning. We've had 6 questions for you, Shelley, all about romance. Yeah. We've got some ones that are very serious. We've got some that are a little lighter in nature. How would you like to start?
Shall we go serious to light? And I'm just
Okay.
gonna say, Merry Frenzy, nothing is worse than fever. Until you had it, you can't know.
That's it, yeah.
That's why I started
I
laughing
have
when
to
you
ask,
talked.
fellow Canadian.
Hmm?
You've heard of beaver fever, right?
I mean,
Right?
Wait,
Yeah.
what is your definition, Kat, of beaver fever? As a Canadian.
Sorry.
As a Canadian, representing all other Canadians except Shelley.
Unless you're talking about a different type of beaver fever.
This
than
is the
Shelley.
thing. This is the problem. It's that beaver. I heard beaver, and my mind went somewhere else, and I'm realizing that's not what you were talking about. And I think we're thinking of 2 different things. It's
I think she might be abstaining.
We don't
I
have
feel
the
like she might be
I'm going to plead the 5th.
or pleading the
Wait.
5th.
Wait, you don't have that in Canada.
Melindhra.
Anyway,
Alert.
All right.
I will no
Let's-
longer put Cat on the spot for my random Northern Ontario sayings.
Let's start with our first question. And folks, these are all anonymous, so no one's name is going to pop up on the screen. But we do have the questions. Your first one here. I broke up with my boyfriend of almost 9 years a few months ago. It was a very amicable breakup. He still lives with me in my apartment for financial reasons, and he co-parents my teenage daughter. He says that he's moving out, but there is no timeline. I miss my space, and I'm looking forward to him leaving. Am I the fool for letting him stay?
Okay, so no, you're not a fool. Relationships are complicated. Relationships ending are complicated. Parenting is complicated. Right now, you're making a decision that worked for you for a period of time, and it no longer is working for you. So you're not the fool. I've been in this situation, and it can be really difficult to kind of put your foot down because it's going to be a financial consequence on you, and it sounds like you still care about this person. It will be a financial consequence on them. So it sounds like a conversation is in your future saying, I need some space. I do need you to move out. You can set a deadline for them. That is something that you can do. I don't know the arrangements around it, but you can say it sounds like you can have a conversation with them honestly saying, I need some space. I would like you to move out. Give them if you're worried about hurting them, you can give them 1 month, 3 months, 6 months notice if you need to. Put the deadline on them, but you're definitely not a fool. And the other thing is, like, there's lots of ways you can negotiate around this. Like, I'll help you look for an apartment nearby so you can still co-parent. There are ways you can try and figure out to make this work, because it sounds like you've got a good relationship going there that you don't want to forfeit, and it's probably good for your kids to still have this other parental figure in their life. So it's a conversation that you two can make work, but definitely don't call yourself a fool. Whoever put that word in your mind, things are complicated sometimes. And the world we live in right now, money is frigging tight for everyone. So you are not the only couple I know who have broken up and are still living together to save money. This is a real thing that people are doing. People are stuck in houses with people they've divorced because they can't afford to go anywhere right now. So I would be kinder to yourself, but I would also say let's have a conversation and see how we can make the transition as smooth for both of you while honoring what you need, which is the space to kind of, it sounds like, get away from this relationship.
Love that.
Yeah.
Does anybody wish to add? I feel like Shelly nailed that, but obviously
Absolutely did. Yeah, and in of all the questions that you could have asked with regarding to the situation, the am I a fool is like, no. I agree with everything that Shelly said. And no, you're not. So, and hopefully people aren't telling you that. And I feel like this, again, this is just extrapolating a lot from reading what you said. But I feel like this is things that you're internalizing from outside. And it's just an impossible situation to be in. So, like, everything Shelly said, I'm not going to regurgitate it, but try to come to peace within yourself that you're making the best decisions for yourself and your child. So, more importantly, I know probably that co-parenting of 9 years, that's probably a hard step to move beyond because it's not just you. I was in definitely not that long of a relationship where the guy overextended his stay at my place, and it was like borderline, like I had to move his fucking ass out. Like I had to find him the apartment. So you're not in that situation. You're in a situation, it sounds like, of your choosing, and you're slowly progressing. So please try to do everything that you can to not have that be the question that you're asking. Am I a fool? Because you're not at all. You're dealing with life. You're dealing with life.
Yeah. Lovely. Okay. Anybody else, or
Yeah,
we're seeing a
and
lot of
Kat,
nods?
jump into, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I
I
think
an apprentice.
yeah, you summed it up. I think you did a really good job of answering that, Shelly. Like things are unbelievably difficult for a lot of people right now. And have been difficult for the past 3 years now. And it's just we just have to find ways to be kinder to ourselves and to not internalize the external things that people say, or even just the impression that they give. Sometimes, people may not say it with words, but they give you that impression, and it's just as harmful, and it does just as much damage. But yeah, it's be kinder to yourself.
You
Great.
said that way better than I did.
No.
No, you all said it beautifully.
I agree. Yeah. Okay. We're going to carry on with another serious one. Then we'll line up. We'll have a slightly lighter one. We've got a more serious ones, and then we'll finish on a lighter one again. So this one is about a long distance relationship. So I'm new to having a long distance relationship, and some days are just very, very tough. Do you have any tips or suggestions on things to do to feel close when apart, or remote date ideas, or ways to fight off the long distance relationship blues?
I mean, not sure why anyone would think I have experience with long distance relationships. Yes. So I think there's two ways to do this. One is investing in yourself. You know, I don't know if this person is dealing with time zones or anything like that, but you know, sometimes the hardest part of a long distance relationship is you want someone to be there and they're not. And I think that is akin to much of the loneliness that people often feel in or out of a relationship, is that lack of connection. So investing in yourself and your community is always a good first step. Because, you know, if you're not happy with yourself in or out of a relationship, you're never going to be happy. And so that is always your first investment, is in yourself. And then the second, in terms of ideas, I think, first of all, communicate. It's very important to communicate to each other what your expectations around communication are. So are you someone who can go 5 days without hearing from someone? Are you someone who needs a check-in twice a day? Are you someone who know what you need in the relationship? And don't be afraid to like express your needs, because you're also have that distance. So it's very difficult to kind of just upfront be like, oh, you know, your brain fills in gaps in the voids, is I think what I'd say. So if you don't say, oh, I need to hear from you once a day just to check in, and then they don't do that, and then you get upset, you've set an unfair expectation on them and you haven't said what you need. In terms of ideas, I mean, so many. We live in the age of Discord, Zoom, WhatsApp, Snapchat, Skype, Teams, all these other things. So I would highly recommend using Discord. That's one of my preferred ways to communicate with people long distance. And honestly, put on a movie, put on a TV show and watch it together. My partner and I are watching Vox Machina together. And, you know, we have an agreement. We do not watch it without the other person. Think about the things that you're interested in together and do those. You know, watching music, there's lots of live music on Twitch. So that's a lot of fun to do together, is just watch live music on Twitch. Cooking together. So sometimes, you know, you just both share a recipe and you cook it together in separate places. That's another fun thing to do. And you just have the Zoom on while you're kind of puttering around in the kitchen, and do that one all the time. And then the other thing is, I'll say, you didn't ask this, but I'll put it out there because long distance relationships, this is the element of it. Don't be afraid to get frisky. I'll say, like, it's weird for people, and it's always going to be weird having a screen between you two. So don't be afraid to do sexy texts. Don't be afraid to like play around in that area within what you're comfortable with. Always talk to your partner to get levels of consent and see what you're like. Have a very clear agreement, you know, no screenshots, no sharing, no recording, anything like that without the other person's consent. But don't be afraid to play around with that stuff, because it is something that you're missing in your relationship, is that physical element. And so even if it's just like sexy text back and forth, hey, what would you do if I did this? Or if you guys decide to video, it's something that I think it's awkward, but get through it, because it does help. It helps your relationship in the long run. And honestly, when you're living together, you're going to have awkward, intimate moments, as no matter what anyways. Bodies are going to make sounds, you're going to age, people are going to get sick, things are going to do weird things. So people sometimes play up how awkward those interactions are between a screen, but interactions in real life are awkward anyways. So I think those would be my recommendations and my ideas and suggestions. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I think the other thing is to like hang out with friends as a group too. I think that's sometimes it's fun just to hang out with your partner on Zoom with other people. So one thing my partner and I did is a bunch of my friends and I watched Glass Onion together, and we had what we called a snark chat up, where we basically like snarked the movie in WhatsApp. It was just a lot of fun.
Nice.
I love that.
Yeah.
Any tips or ideas that Shelly didn't cover there? Because I feel like she covered a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I am lucky enough to live with my partner, but one of the things I love to do with my friends who are long distance is to play online games together, and not necessarily like video games, but there are lots of board games you can play online, and some are for like 2 people and some are for groups of people, and you can get together and play those games. And they usually have a chat, but you can also just open up Discord and have your voice channel going on. So I do that with my family often. And especially if you like playing games, that's pretty fun. Yeah. And then the other thing is you could just go on walks together. You could, you know, take your person along with you to somewhere that you've never been and show them what you're seeing, and they show you what they're seeing, and you can discover 2 new places at the same time.
I love that.
Right, that's really cute.
Yeah.
I was definitely going to say the computer game one. You know, definitely that's fun, especially if you play against each other. In whatever game it is, because sometimes you play games and you're playing collectively, but sometimes say if it's like a racing game or something, you're racing each other. That's fun because you start getting all snarky at each other, and it rather than just being like, oh, I love playing games with you, it's also like, haha, take that, I got you, and it's like, oh no, you got me, I will chase you down, stupid things like that. So and it becomes fun as well as being able to spend time with a person. It's you're just hanging out and you kind of forget that you're not physically next to each other a bit right then. So,
I'll go a little old school. So when I was in the military, was in long-term relationships on deployments, and this is before a lot of the social media sites came up. We probably didn't have email half the time, so it was important for me at least in the relationship that I was in, to have something that reminded me of it was my fiance at the time, and something that when I was just lonely or frustrated or whatever, and where I would go and talk to him because we were living together when we were stateside, to have something that I could just go. So I actually bought one of his favorite shirts with me. I did get his permission. I didn't just steal it, but so I had it folded up and I kept it away. I didn't sleep with anything because it smelled like him. So I just maybe if I was having a frustrating day, and that was something that I would do. So maybe having something like that, where if you are just having that moment where if your partner was close to you, that you could have that physical time, and because life happens, just having something like that where you could just, all right, this little dice box or whatever, this lipstick reminds me of them or whatever it is. So this perfume or who knows? Having something like that where you could just the tangible. Again, old school long distance dating.
We're melting chat a little bit, which is nice. Okay, slightly lighter hearted one right now. If this is not me, by the way, folks. This came from someone else, someone trying to steal Bain&Chiad here, but I want to clarify that this was not me.
I wonder who it could be.
If myself and Bain&Chiad were to share a spouse, Trolloc or otherwise, is this acceptable? And is sibling spouses the appropriate verbiage for them?
Well, I mean, here in what are we in the fourth age now?
Sure.
Yeah, we've adopted the term spear siblings or near siblings. I think because we live in an era where gender is not quite as tightly defined as it was in the Wheel of Time that we all originally learned to love. So I'm perfectly comfortable with the term spear siblings, near siblings, all those sorts of things. Jessica Sadai. What was the rest of the question? I kind of forgot. I got lost.
Everyone just trying to steal Bain&Chiad there. Yeah. Is it acceptable to share a spouse, and is sibling spouses the correct term?
And if all spouses are into the sharing, then it is 100% acceptable. That would be my general rule of something. If everybody's into it, sure, save the money on rent.
Mm-hmm.
True. Yes.
So we just have to make sure the Trollic's into it. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Just have a talk with the Trollic about consent, which Trollics are notoriously good at.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yes. They're very generous.
Yes. Very generous lovers.
Yeah. Emotionally very much in tune with their own innards, and sometimes your innards.
Yes. Especially, I would say especially your innards.
Especially your innards.
Good to be with someone who knows you inside and out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I actually do know a couple of polygamous couples that do.
I thought you were going to say a couple of Trollocs then. Oh boy, where are we
going? Where's this going to go?
I'm not gonna call any of them trollocs. But
Polygamous or polyamorous?
Polyamorous and polygamous. Yeah, both. So yes. So all of the above, I guess, is the answer to that question. Because one is about the relationship status and one is how you feel about having multiple lovers. And so yes. And that is a lifestyle that you choose, and there's nothing wrong with that. If the C word consent has been thrown around, and as long as everybody is consenting and into it, do it.
Love it. Okay,
agreed.
Enjoy enjoy your Trolloc time. Right.
I do have kind of a follow-up to the Trolloc question though. Would you consider somebody who dressed up as a Trolloc, would that be classified in the furry classification, or is that totally different?
Furry adjacent, I would think.
Okay.
At least. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Do you separately define monster fuckers and furries?
I was just gonna say.
Yeah.
Good point.
It's like on the spectrum, it's more towards the monster fucker side of things. But it's depends.
I feel like I need to just pull Master of the Deck on screen for a second right now. This is her
She would have the answer.
She would have the answer.
In fact, Kat, let's remember, because next weekend on Saturday, you, James, and Matt, potentially Camille, if they are not asleep at 2 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock in the morning, whatever time it was, or it's going to be. You're joining myself and Master of the Deck because we are doing some Wheel of Time shipping. It's Valentine's Day. It's a tradition that Master of the Deck and I get together. We've invited Quiz of Time podcast to join us. So we will remember to ask her that question. I'm sure she'll have lots to say on the matter.
Oh, yes.
But yeah.
My theory is that it depends on what attracts you to that, right? It's the motivation behind it changes the definition, right?
That's a good point.
Because if it's more about embodying a creature, then that feels more furry-ish. But if it's more about the like chaos and frightness and like the emotional like excitement of that, then I feel like that's more monster fucker. So I think it depends.
Yeah. Well, there's also so much within like the definition of what a furry is. So people who don't know the community tend to only think perversely of it, because some people just do like to dress up. Not gonna lie, the first time I experienced furries was at a beer festival.
Okay.
And there was like people who dressed up as furries were there drinking beer. And some of them had their some of them would only lift up a little bit. But they were they were telling me, and I went with my ex-boyfriend because we were still friends. It was just like, it was fascinating, and I just could not stop asking questions because I was so interested in it. Like, I just need to know all about this. Like the drunker we got, the more spicy the questions got, and they're like, oh no, some of us do, but a lot of us don't, and like we just like to dress up in our costumes. So I feel like, I guess it gets down to the motivation. But they're all called furries.
Yeah.
So, all right. Anyway. A few more questions. So we're going to hit on to this one next. Dear Shelley, I am a simple balloon with little in this turning, save my witless antics and love of poetry and glorious wide-brimmed hats. Whenever it comes to igloo time, I get quickly discarded like a used contraceptive, or worse, used as one. How can I show the maidens that there's more to me inside than just hot air?
Okay, so is there a total time thing that I'm missing with this?
Not that I know of.
Not that I know of either.
Just like, is there an inside joke that I'm missing?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
I think it goes pretty deep into the hinder hole.
Oh,
But I don't
okay.
I don't think I could explain it accurately.
I don't think you need to. Short answer. Stand up for yourself. Have some self-respect. People are using you. Get out. You're better than that. Hot air balloon or no. Blown up condom or no. You deserve respect. You have a place in this world. If people are using you and discarding you, you have a right to discard them. I will treat your confusing question with all the seriousness I can think of.
Nice. Okay. 2 more questions now. Sorry, I just had to go for that one next. It kind of I was like, we've just had a fun furry conversation. I feel like we need a fun question as well. But yeah, thank you for taking it seriously, Shelly. I appreciate that. Second to last question is, I just found out the girl I've been seeing is actually a dark friend, and I'm broken because I love her so much, and I don't know what to do. Please help.
So, I know this is a joke question, but I also want to treat it seriously because this does raise a question in relationships where, I've known people whose spouse has politically changed streams on them through their relationship. Let's put it that way. Or, assumed you were both on a moral same page and then all of a sudden weren't. So let's treat it that way. And you still love this person. And so I would say the first thing is, are they actually a dark friend sworn to the dark body and soul? Or have they just, expressed some dark friend sympathies? If it's the former, that's a much harder conversation. No one is so gone to the dark that they cannot come back to the light, I will say.
Don't mind me. I'm not trying to interrupt Shelly at all. I'm trying.
Good.
Do you need a moment?
I just feel like Mel's hiding.
So you're never going to argue someone out of a point like that. But I would say conversations about, you have to know yourself and how much will this prevent you from wanting to be in this relationship. Sometimes you do have to end a relationship if you become so politically different that you believe that you're compromising your morals. That is a thing that does sometimes have to happen. Sometimes there can be a conversation with your partner or spouse about where is the source of said, let's call it political alignment coming from. What's causing them? Is there an anxiety? Is there something like that? And I'll just say, if people express absolutely abhorrent views, racism, sexism, homophobia, any of those things, you give them one chance to fix it. And if they don't, because I'm pretty hardcore on that stuff. Sometimes people need to learn, but when people don't learn after given the opportunity, I'm kind of a big fan of saying, you know what, you had your chance and I'm not going to fuck you anymore. That's kind of where I fall on those things.
Yeah.
But that's just me. Other people may have different things, but I'd love to hear what other people think about this. Mel?
Speak on it.
I think that to be serious and not Mel at the moment, I would make sure that you're not just having a knee-jerk reaction to one thing that they said, right? It may have been an off moment. It may have been a particular viewpoint that was expressed not particularly well, that they weren't communicating what they actually meant. And so I would be careful, like in the moment, not to jump to a conclusion that you might regret. So make sure that if you address it, you're in a space where you can have an honest conversation, and you can, don't take the emotions out of it, but have the space and distance so that you can think clearly about what they're saying, and you give them a chance to make sure that you're understanding their viewpoint. And if then they reinforce their dark frienderiness, then you can invite them to parties. You can tell them that maybe you disagree and you might need to part ways. But there's also parties. So it's just it's very difficult to pick between because brownies are delicious. Yeah.
And just piggyback a little on that. there's this thing called therapy that if you're having this big conundrum, there are professionally trained people out there that you can talk to about your very specific circumstance, because we're just kind of creating hypotheticals here. And a therapist is a very safe place where a professional who is invested in you will be a sounding board and give you actual life advice and steps to take. They won't tell you the binary, end it, stay in the relationship. They'll give you tools to deal with this situation one way or another, and then depending on your choice, not their choice, your choice, help you decide how to accomplish the path you decide to go down once you've discussed everything in detail. And it'll happen over time, but you don't have to go through us people going in like detailless anonymous advice. You can get very specific advice.
Yeah. So you can go to Reddit and go to Am I the Asshole? or if you're really
more dark friend
serious
spaces,
about it,
essentially.
if you're really serious about it, you can go to someone who's gonna help you out in a more considerate
care about
way.
you.
Do I have thoughts?
Yeah.
Actually, I have pretty much the exact thought that Leigh-A had as you were answering these questions, Shelly. I was thinking, do I have anything to add to this? And I'm thinking, and I don't. But all I can think about is I need to ask my therapist about this. So that's my advice.
There you go.
To the therapist. It's great to have an objective listener who's not allowed to tell anybody else anything that you're saying. And if you're lucky enough,
is on your side.
yes, and if you're lucky enough to have an awesome one like I do, who I've known for many, many years and like knows me, I think sometimes better than I know myself, it's really, really helpful.
That's awesome.
All right, we have one
But don't
last
fuck
question.
racist. Seriously.
What? Oh yeah.
Racist, don't fuck homophobes, don't fuck ableists. Like, seriously.
Yeah, also that.
Just a good rule.
Also that. But don't call them dark friends either, because there's nothing friendly about that.
Yeah.
So
Right.
Dark assholes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we have one last question to round off the segment, and then we have a fun game to finish the show where Kat, you and I are going to get tested by the ladies.
Oh no.
The ideal lady.
Oh, no.
But okay, so round off the segment. Sorry, dear wise one, I am currently in a long distance relationship, and it's going great. Sometimes I question my feelings for my partner because every visit is such a great experience, but with such limited time. How do I know if my feelings are true or are just the excitement of the moment? Signed, Sleepless in Charade. I love the fact that one was signed.
So speaking of therapists, mine taught me about a concept this week that I found very, very helpful, which is called the fear of hope. And sometimes when you grew up in trauma or, tough situations, poverty, not in healthy relationships, you develop what's called a fear of hope, where whenever something good starts happening to you, you can't stop analyzing it. You can't stop thinking about it. You can't stop questioning it. Your brain goes, well, this might just end. You use those sarcastic jokes as like, oh, well, it's good now, but let's wait 2 weeks. And it's called a fear of hope. And that was really quite powerful for me to learn, because that's a habit I have when something good happens to me. I'm just like, don't worry. The universe is going to screw me over soon. And so I would say a little bit of therapy might go a long way, looking at the own fear of hope. Now, the other thing is 2 things can be true. You can be feeling all the flush and blush and all those wonderful things in a new relationship and still not know. And that's okay. That's why it's new in a relationship. And long distance relationships do make it hard. But I would say there's an element of outside of those times when you're together that the truth will start to show. What is the communication like when you can't be together? How are your needs being met? all those sorts of things that you can kind of look to and say, how do I feel about this? Because this is not the last time in your relationship you're going to go through a tough time. And so seeing how you go through this tough time is, I think, a good indicator. But yeah, I would say don't be afraid to feel those fun, fleshy feelings, because this is the most fun time in a relationship, is when it's early. Your hormones are going, your oxytocin is going. I can always mess up OxyContin and oxytocin, I'm pretty sure.
Not Oxycontin.
Your oxytocin is flowing, you're feeling all huggy and lovey. Totally enjoy it. Like, lean into it, enjoy it, be in the moment. It's going to change over time regardless. But don't, and protect your heart like you need to, but don't be afraid to feel a little bit of hope. And the thing that my therapist told me that really struck me is, if your heart gets broken, it still gets broken regardless of whether or not you had hope. Your brain thinks you're doing some protective thing when you're like, oh, this is just the flush of a new relationship. It's all, it's going to not work out, or it's going to fade. And if your heart gets broken, that didn't actually protect it. It just made you not be in the moment while you felt this good thing. And I'll be personal. I've had 2 long relationships that I both ended. And I don't regret either of those relationships, because I was in the moment. And, there were good things I got out of them. They were mostly good people I was with. Sometimes I'll joke on the show. I'm like, oh, my ex is a jerk or something like that. But it's more funny when I say that. But the reality is, those relationships ended within their time, but I still got stuff out of them. And I would say in a long distance relationship, it may end, it might not. But you might as well enjoy what you're feeling right now. And cherish those times when you're together, and learn from the times when you're not. That would be, and don't be afraid to hope. That would be my advice.
Lovely.
Yeah.
That's good advice.
You're amazing.
Yeah.
I know.
Round and battle for Shelly.
Yay, Shelly.
I've learned from people smarter than me.
This really is my favorite thing we do.
It is. I know Kev was putting it in chat. People were talking about it. So yeah, this is a great segment we need more often. Kev, this is the 5th time we've done Ask a Wise One. I'm going to try and now we're up to 5. I think I should make their own little sub playlist for them. It's a beautiful segment. And as Jess said, you can miss the sincerity with all the shenanigans we have, but we always make sure it's there. Before we move on to our very last segment, I just want to say a quick fun thing about love that I can't remember where I saw this. I feel like it may have been like a reel or something like that. But someone was talking about love. Love is a very strange thing. It's the one thing in the world that we question after it's gone. So you're in love, everything's going great, you break up, you move on. We've all been there, and we all have those feelings. Was I actually in love? Did they love me? Did I love them? All those sorts of things. Love is the only thing we question doesn't exist after we lose it. Yeah? If you lose your car keys, you don't be like, well, did I actually have car keys to start with? Do they actually exist? Am I making that up? Do I have a car with no keys? You don't do that with anything else except love. Okay? So stop being so mean to yourselves, people. Love is real, even if it ends. So like Shelly said, have hope, be in the moment, enjoy it. If it does end, take away what you can from it and try not to, let it rule the rest of your life, because, what is life without love? And I love that. Yeah. When I saw that, I was like, yeah, we do treat love like that. We do pretend that love doesn't exist just because it hurt us. And that's a weird way to think about it. So yeah, don't do that, people.
Does anybody else out of that, every time Rob says love, their head goes to
love.
Love is a mini thing. Love lifts up. All you need is love.
All you need is love.
All you need is love.
All right. We're going to fun game to round it out. Now we've said that. I don't often say a lot during Ask a Wise One. It's usually the segment where I'm like, oh, and then I move on. So I was like, I wanted to add that one because that said a lot to me. We ladies, who of you is running the wreath segment, as we're going to call it?
Oh my goodness.
I can explain it.
Okay, go for it.
Please.
I have a technical thing to try and fix. So
Rob's
carry
been
on.
through this before. So Kat, this is kind of for you.
Okay.
Basically, what the purpose of the threefold talk at its root is kind of a cultural exchange between the wetlands and the threefold land. And so this is kind of our chance to quiz you guys to see if you've been paying attention and see what you've learned. And so we've done some work on bridal wreaths before. I think it's one of the traditions that people from the wetlands find most confusing because the woman lays a bridal wreath at the man's feet. All the flowers have different significance. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you some bridal wreaths made by actual maidens or actual women who are Aiel that have been laid at people's feet. And you and Rob are going to guess, see, based on what you've learned with the show, see if you can figure out what they mean. And then we will correct you if you're wrong. Most likely you'll be right. The meanings are pretty obvious. But
Yeah.
leave it for you, Rob, to guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for this time, you know, in our last few segments, we talked about the flowers themselves. But we thought since it's winter and it's cold, we would talk about some specific wreaths that maidens use when flowers are not so easy to find. So we're looking at the whole wreath today. So it should be easier to guess what they are because you can see the whole thing. So yeah, it'll be no problem.
The context.
Okay.
Right. So I suppose I'll just bring up the first one you sent me, and that is this one. Kat, any ideas what this might mean?
Yeah, it means you should go full steam ahead. This is the one that you want. This is the person for you. It's you should say yes. Say yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Right?
Okay.
I think that's what it means.
Interesting.
I was thinking this one is like I have questions. But I'm laying the wreath anyway.
It's really sad that neither of you have been paying very good attention.
Oh.
Very, very wrong.
They're wetlanders.
I mean, wetlanders.
I mean, maybe they just needed to warm up. I mean, they're gonna get the next one. I believe in both of you.
Okay, so what does that actually mean then?
So this one means I'm a little sensitive and I require very clear communication.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I see it now. Okay, with the yellow. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is the second one. Kat, I see you grinning in the background there. What comes to mind when you see this? I mean, I have a suggestion. You're making me laugh as well. I have a suggestion too.
Laughing during this segment. It's so strange.
Yeah, it's very weird.
When someone decides to do this, it's like a major life decision. It's very
Yeah. Also, we're like showing these to you as a gift, you know, a knowledge gift. You should.
Most wetlanders don't get to see this.
Yeah. You should take this seriously.
I happily accept it. It's boobs. Is that the correct answer? I think that's right.
Say boots or boobs? Oh, boobs.
With the B at the end.
I thought they were like the little fishing things.
Okay.
So I thought that was, I have some great bait. Come check out my tackle.
Oh. Okay.
Well, I mean, actually, Kat's not too far off. I mean, this one's really sweet.
Yeah.
You don't just want a spouse. It means you want to be the breast of friends.
Yeah.
The breast of friends.
Yeah.
Be the breast of friends.
The breast of friends. Yeah.
It's a good one.
Okay. This is the next one.
Oh no.
Rob, I feel like you're not taking this seriously.
I don't know. This one means I want a lot of wieners, a lot of husbands. I don't know.
I don't understand why you would think that.
Okay.
Very strange.
Because we have brother husbands and sister wives. They're not all, you know, it's quite an assumption you've made.
Yeah. Also, not every husband has a penis, so.
This is true.
This is true, yes.
Sure.
even chat's trying to keep a straight face apparently, and it's like, yeah.
That's because Chat's treating this segment with the respect it deserves.
Thank you,
has
Chat.
to be.
Thank you.
This is why they're all foldies and members of the threefold Purple Rocks Fold.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Would you care to enlighten us about this?
Did Cat think yes?
Oh, sorry, Kat. Yes.
Okay. So I'm devour me is what I'm getting from this. Devour.
Okay.
That's very interesting because it's kind of close.
Yeah.
So you're getting a little closer than Rob is on these guesses. So which means like you coming into the IEL, like wanting to be an IEL is very good.
Yeah.
Because this means your ideal date is around a campfire.
Yeah.
That's what this wreath means.
Oh.
So
Okay.
romantic.
I don't know.
And that was Gara meat. I don't know what that hot dog thing that people are talking about is.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
tasty.
ground up and you stuff it in some entrail casing.
Some of the other guesses, Dane Luhu says, I wonder if they like to snuggle in blankets.
By the campfire, yes.
By the campfire.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes.
And that's what you do. There it is.
Like Blind Fool thought perhaps that's what you give if there's a clan chief involved. So, a bit of extra respect to the situation there, perhaps. So, okay.
I think you spelled that wrong. Maybe clan chef. Is that what you meant?
Yeah.
I always get those spellings wrong. Chief and chef. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Our next wreath is this one. It's an interesting wreath. Cats.
It's boldness, innovation, diversity. These are just buzzwords. I don't know what I'm saying.
Energy.
Energy.
We're IEL, not consultants.
Or No McGarden says just an average Thursday. I don't know.
What do you think?
This is tricky. Yeah, let's see it again.
I'm into role. I'm seeing like various different styles of outfits here. I'm into role play.
Oh, okay. Okay. Is it maybe masks? Something about masking? I don't know. Are they masks? I can't tell.
They do like their masks.
Yeah.
Oh, Mary has a nice guess in chat.
I will cut
There
off.
is.
Oh, see,
It's
that's
wrong,
good.
but there's a wreath for that though.
That's like, yeah. We almost included that one, but we didn't. We couldn't fit
We
it
thought
in.
that would be too easy because it's really common, actually.
It does look similar. So I know from a Wetlander perspective that is easy to confuse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I guess
Mel, you want to tell what this one is?
Oh, yes. It just means, I think the wetlands have a version of astrology where there's there's like a different name for the type of personality you have. But this one in particular is similar to the Wetlander version of Gemini. It means you change your mind a lot.
Oh, I didn't know about the Gemini thing.
Okay.
I need to study that.
Yeah, I learned that from Matt Coffin.
Oh,
Yeah.
Right.
He's really into astrology.
That makes sense. He would be. Yeah.
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 Mhm.
All right. 3 reefs left. This is next.
Uh-oh.
I just just leave that there for a second. All right. Kat, do you have a suggestion for this one?
You're willing to bend over backwards for the person. You are ready, willing, and able to do. Yeah. Right? Are those knees? Can we see the picture again? Is that knees or it's bent knees?
I know the feet look like they're facing the other direction, don't they?
Oh, it's a butt. Okay. Yes. So I stand by my answer. You're ready
Okay.
to bend, ready, willing, and able.
I was what is
Mhm.
this? Partner in the streets, guy shining the sheets. I don't know.
There it is.
I don't know.
Close.
Or as Mark says, I still want to marry you even though you dropped a house on my sister. That's a Wetlander reference there, ladies. So
We read that book. We get books in the Threefold Land. Thank
Okay,
you very
right.
much.
Dana Luhu says they like to be spanked.
Mm.
I mean, what I yield doesn't.
No.
Fair. I actually feel a little awkward having done this one, don't you guys?
Yeah, probably shouldn't have.
Probably should have thought of the audience.
Yeah.
Before. Well, that's all right.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
I'll
not
take
it's
the-
not
I'll
the
take
guide
the
that
hit
wants
for
to
this
be spanked.
because-
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's not necessarily a wise one, the thing that she would say, but yeah, that one means that kicking the shit out of Wetlanders is your favorite activity.
Yeah.
Oh
We might have
Sorry.
a little bit of
Yeah. Yeah, sorry about
Sorry.
that. Should have
Because you
edited
don't
that list a little bit.
But
Yeah.
it's a wreath that we have. None of us have used it. So maybe we
Yeah,
don't
no,
have to go.
I would never use that one. Yeah.
Okay. Good to know.
Interesting.
All right, second to last one.
Sure.
This is a picture. Oh boy. Okay. Kat, would you like to go first?
What does this mean? I'm trying to think how.
I mean, I'll go with my suggestion if you like.
You go. Yes, you go first. I'm still trying to put my thoughts together on this.
Yep.
I have a lot of
I will always provide you with fresh and juicy watermelon.
Watermelon?
I don't know what that is. Do you guys know what that is?
I've never heard of this.
Sounds very scary, actually.
It's
Yeah.
it's a Wetlander fruit.
Maybe very wasteful. Yeah.
It is.
See like my water is yours, my melon so yours. Yeah.
Yeah.
Marisu says I love a tasty pink ring.
That's very nice.
Like Blindfold says it means you like candy.
Candy. Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
I was going to say
Interesting
juicy.
guesses.
It means you're juicy and you're ready to taste that juice. So, is that too much?
Huh.
Thanks. Yeah.
Leigh-A, did you want to take this one?
Yeah, I think this is a Leigh-A one.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
So not close, either of you. Sorry. And chat.
Way off.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think the water thing just threw us off. If you fuck up, we'll throw you in an uncomfortable looking sarlacc pit.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
It's kind of a threat wreath, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that is.
Yeah.
you better keep in line, my dear partner.
There are many different types of marriages. That's all I'm going to say.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Sarlacc pits are one of the many, many dangers of the Threefold Land.
I'm sensing this.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe we have one wreath left, Kat. Let's see if we can get this.
Come on. We can do
Final
this.
wreath.
Okay.
Manifesting ideas here.
Yes. Here we go.
This is our final wreath. Any ideas?
I don't see what you're laughing.
Cat's killing me with the laughter.
Hurtful, actually.
This is like a really important
This is funny.
Sorry. All right, I keep picking untoward things. So and your comments there.
I mean,
made me feel
I
like
think
I'm
you need
not
to
taking
look at
this
it
respect.
one more time.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you got a good look at it the first time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Just gather it all in.
It is something.
yeah. That is.
I mean, it is a well-made wreath right there.
Yeah.
Those shooting stars at the top are really like the. I mean, they're the cherry on top. It's,
Yeah.
the whipped cream.
I think this wreath means that holidays and family traditions are extremely important to you.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Sure. Yeah.
It's see, I'm getting because green it's growth, and so we'll be growing together. We'll be growing. We'll be getting firm, and we'll be growing together. You know, I think
That's actually really beautiful.
Beautiful cat.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I mean, completely wrong, but
Really wrong.
really
And
beautiful.
Chats has had some good suggestions.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah.
A couple.
We actually, yeah.
Wrong. So good suggestions.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Dwayne says deck the balls with bars of usquai.
I don't even know what that means. Yeah.
Tree killers will tremble like the Dasang they are if they dare face us.
Okay.
And
Very ideal of you, Murray.
And Dama who says she wants to have 3 children.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
it's good. It's good.
So there's actually an old tongue term specifically for this wreath.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. I'm not great at the old tongue, but I think it's pronounced Dick the Halls, and
Yeah.
just literally means you want to fuck a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very straightforward, straight to the
All
point.
the time. It's like give it to me.
Yeah.
Holes.
Penetrating. Oh shit! I'm sorry.
Oh wait, the word was said. The word
I'm
was
so
said.
sorry. I didn't even mean to. That's a penetration right there. Yeah, I'm so sorry, Shelly. I didn't mean to. Yeah. It just means like you just want to do the nasty in all the places you possibly could. Like this wreath is the wreath I was gonna place at Matt Cossen's feet. Like, yeah.
I'm pretty sure Hall is old tongue for me.
Mm-hmm. Dick the me. Dick the me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what does dick mean? Oh, in the old tongue. I wonder.
Pavara!
Third time to a segment like this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good job, guys.
Yeah, there, Mary Frenzy taking the tip.
There it is.
Oh yeah, that's
great.
That's better. Yeah, I tried, but that's better than.
Those are good. Those are good.
Yeah. All right. Well, I feel like we got 0 out of that. What is going on in my hair right now?
Well, we just have to keep continuing this cultural exchange.
Yeah.
Yep.
More work to do. More work
I
to do.
understand how Avienda felt teaching Rando because we've worked so hard on explaining these things to you guys.
Yeah.
And apparently we're just not quite getting through. Somehow we've got to reevaluate.
Yeah.
We thought the wreaths would be easier than the flowers.
Yeah, apparently not. So
okay, I guess not.
It's hard when the meaning is just so obvious to us, but we have to understand it might not be obvious to everyone else.
Right. We should be more sensitive to that and embrace.
So we're gonna have online
unique
training,
differences. Yeah.
And weekly seminars, mandatory seminars.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Folks, thank you for joining us tonight.
Lamelle will cater it.
I hope you've enjoyed the show. Kat, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Kat.
Thanks for having me. This was so much fun.
Twitter handle yet?
Sorry?
Has Kat said her Twitter handle yet?
It's in her title, 90s.
Oh yes, 90s wifey.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes. So,
Yeah.
folks, you can find Quiz of Time podcasts on all good listening apps, I believe.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes.
So you can find Quiz of Time on all good podcasting apps,
Check 'em
and
out.
please go check them out because they are a hilarious crew.
Mhm.
Mary Frenzy is correct. Please, we all have toe. Click the like button. Click the like button to help you meet your toe.
Like button.
Oh,
Anytime,
yes,
Mary Frenzy,
please
click
do.
my
Can
like
we,
button.
can we lick
Uh-huh.
the click button? I don't know.
Click the like button.
Did you say click?
Click the click. Anyway, will there be a panel at JordanCon for this?
There actually is there actually is a queers panel at JordanCon. It's essentially the concept of queers of time. I've done it in the past, and I think that's where a lot of the queer of time podcast people met. Right, that's kind of where your genesis was.
Yeah.
So, yeah, check that one out because it is sassy and snarky like this, but also serious.
So yes, go listen to the podcast. Nanive's wifey's Twitter handle is linked in the description. So please go and follow Kat on Twitter. She has awesome stuff on there. And thank you for joining us. It's been a blast. I've really enjoyed this action-packed show. Sometimes we do shows where we plan a lot of the show, and we run late and don't even complete everything we're doing. But we had a huge amount packed in today, and we steamrolled through it. So I was very impressed.
Way to go.
I hope you've enjoyed Ask a Wise One, folks, the romance edition. And I look forward to doing more of these. I just look forward to hanging out with you all every week. But I think that's it for now. So please like the video. Please comment below with your favorite reef. Which reef do you want? And
and which reads do you know about that maybe we could also share?
Yeah, which wreaths do you want us to show you? So if you have a wreath in mind, we could, find that for a picture of that for you.
That maybe the other Wetlanders don't know.
Yeah.
That's a very good point. And until next week, folks, may you always find love, water, and shade. Bye.
Bye.